Kamae is not you just putting your sword between you and your opponent. Let me show you how to grip your sword, how to set up your arms, and the position of the shinai in relationship to your opponent so you can feel safe while you're in Kamae and be able to take opportunities when they present themselves. My last video was about the engagement of the body, so today I'm gonna add to that and set up with the arms. Kamae is only effective if you understand that it's not only posture, it's also attention and mental readiness. My point with this is that we want to train ourselves not only for the physical part, but also make a point to train your mental aspects of your Kamae, your attention to your opponent. Whether you're doing Suburi, Kihon, Jigeko, you always want to try to develop that attentiveness and try to make it last as long as possible. One place for me that's specifically good to train this is when you're doing Kihon. So when you first take that Kamae, make sure that you're always attentive, do your technique, pass through, turn around, and again, keep that attention to your opponent as if your opponent is going to attack you by surprise. Don't just go through the motions on your drills. Let's talk about gripping your sword first. For me, the grip of the shinai involves more than just the hands, more than just the palms and the fingers. For me, it also involves the wrist. Starting with the left hand, you want to make sure that your palm is on top of your sword, not on the side. When using a shinai, you want to make sure that the tsukagashira is inside of your hand. The pinky and the ring finger hold your shinai firmly, always, but not stiff. The shinai should have freedom to move without moving inside of your hand. Even though I can squeeze my fingers to move the shinai is not frictioning against my skin. This will help you understand how to apply Tenouchi for the impact later, but also if you're doing a lot of Suburi, it's gonna help you not get blisters as you do many repetitions. I think that this can be a little bit complicated to grasp, so if you do get it, please let me know down in the comments below. If you have any questions about it, also let me know in the comments below, or if you have a better way of explaining this. For the rest of the fingers, the middle finger is not relaxed, but it's also not tight, not firm either. And the index and the thumb are a little bit more relaxed, but again, they're not open, they're not loose. You got a little bit of flexibility with those two fingers, and that's going to help you with reach later on. The end result should not look like a fist. You should have more mobility on your wrist, and with that relaxation on the top two fingers, you should have more reach as well. Something like this. Make sure it just doesn't look like a fist. The right hand is literally a mirror of the left one. The main difference is how the sword rests on each hand. The left hand is the main support for the sword and it's going to be the source of power for the motion of the sword. So when you're in Kamae, you should feel how the sword pressures you against the bottom of the left hand. For the right one, the sword rests in the middle of the middle finger. I will be making another video on how to move your sword, and this concept is extremely important and something I don't hear many people really talking about. If that's a video that you would like to watch, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, by the way. For how far apart your hands should be from each other, your right index should be grazing the tsuba. For the arms, the first thing you want to do when you're setting up the arms is that you want to pull your shoulders back and down. You want to make sure that your arms drop naturally. And from this position, what I like to do, I like to bring my hands forward, having my left hand in front of my belly button. The position of the shinai should be about 1 to 2 fists away from your do. I think it depends on your body type, how long your arms can be. So make sure that you experiment with a lot of these details and try to find it where it's more comfortable for you. When I'm in Kamae, my left elbow is grazing my do. My right one is a little bit ahead of my left elbow, and both elbows are bent past a 90-degree angle. So don't put it too high, don't extend it too much. Now let's talk a little bit about the position of your shinai in relationship to your opponent. Most textbooks and senseis, they will say point to the eyes of the opponent. Personally, I like to point to the tsukidare of my opponent. I feel that it helps me project my sword better. I feel like it makes it a little bit more natural for me. But the most important part definitely is to keep the shinai in the center. Your shinai should be protecting you from your opponent's attack, and you should be constantly trying to take the center of your opponent. I try to keep the tip of my sword in the center, but my left hand, I try to keep my left knuckle in the center. As a matter of fact, I was taught that my center line is not as thin as a piece of thread, for example. It's as wide as my fist. So my left hand, it's still in the center. It's just not quite dead center. I feel that when it's dead center, I feel very restricted based on the fact that I'm holding one hand in front of the other one. Before I keep going, I want to make sure that you understand there are a couple of things that you want to avoid. First is that having your tip too high or too low. putting your elbows out or two in, your fist too close or too far away from your body, especially when you tense up your right arm, or stretching up your arms, tensing up any of your arms away from your body. Lastly, when you're in Kamae, you're always thinking about the engagement with your opponent. When you're in Kamae with your opponent, avoid doing things like pushing to the side. The main reason for that is because if your opponent lifts the sword when you don't expect it, you're gonna have a big opening that your opponent can take advantage of. What you want to do instead is you want to have this feeling that you're cutting into the shinai. This will give you more opportunities to take their sword away of their center and have an opening for you to take an ippon. There are times where you're gonna be able to slap the shinai out of the way to get an ippon, and if you would like to explore a little bit more of that, you may want to check out this video I made. Before you go, please let me know down in the comments if there's anything that you're struggling with when it comes to Kamae, or if you found any solutions to any problems you had in this video. If you enjoyed this video, take a second, please hit the like button and share this with someone you want their channel to improve. Thank you for watching.